Este episodio es presentado por Verónica Navarro, Realtor. Take it for granted.
Bienvenidos a Yo Soy The Boss Next G.
So today we're going to be talking, or this podcast is going to be talking about basically the customs of our culture and also the experiences that we have that have shaped us. I'm Isabel, and this is my co-host, Analia. So yeah, we have a couple topics to talk about first. So, let me find those. Maybe, or where's the list? Oh, you sent me. Okay. Yeah. So, I guess we can talk about how we talked about previously in the car when we were riding here together. How do you feel about, I guess, quote unquote, not being Mexican enough for Mexican America, or like I guess the standards about everything? Because technically, we're not born in Mexico.
Yeah, well, for me, siempre creciendo en los Estados Unidos, you kind of just like, you get accustomed more to almost American lifestyle in a way. And it's something que siempre lo he pensado, que como mi vida va a ser tan diferente si mis padres nunca pues vinieron para acá. And it's something that I think about like all the time, like how different my life could be. And just growing up, especially like in such a place where it's just full of so many just white Americans, it's like, I don't know, you kind of felt a little bit different in a way.
You felt different?
I did. Personally, I did.
Yeah,
did you
personally. Not? I mean, growing up, I didn't really see it like that.
Well, because you were whitewashed yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I was, supposedly. Because obviously, I didn't grow up in this town. In this town, we have many Hispanic.
Well,
like,
now.
Was it not like that before?
Antes no había tantos mexicanos ni tantos hispanos.
Pues qué?
Americanos, gringos. Yeah, it wasn't until like, I want to say, hace 6 años que llegaron muchísimos de México.
Really?
De Colombia, de Venezuela, de todo.
Latinos,
all types of Latinos.
No, pues, wow. Okay, well, in Buford, in my other town, no, puro gringos, like, actually, just, yeah, pretty much. And obviously, I'm pretty sure I've told you before, I grew up and I just became accustomed to that. And also, actually, yeah, I didn't really know Spanish.
Yeah.
I didn't know Spanish. So, but then whenever I came to Bluffton, that's whenever it became very more, like, populated con, like, Latinos y todo eso. Like, I learned mi español from you.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you. From you and your family. But growing up to, like, a certain standard, I'd say never really crossed my mind at all, to be honest.
No? I don't know. Creciendo siempre tuve muchos amigos mexicanos, pero fuimos a una escuela que era predominantly white. Entonces, like, anywhere we looked, there was going to be way more white people than there was us Mexicans. And so, it was almost as if, like, even now, today, en la escuela que íbamos, o que yo voy, los mexicanos se juntan con los mexicanos, los morenos se juntan con los morenos, los gringos se juntan con los gringos. Siempre ha sido así. No sé si nomás es también así en Buford, pero así en Bluffton siempre ha sido.
I feel like over there in Buford, it was like, it couldn't even be like Latinos con Latinos y gringos con gringos, like y todo así, porque there was really only two. There was just los gringos and then the black people. And it really just like differed on who wanted to stand with who. Like, if you so happen to be Latino over there, it's just who are you gonna be with? Are you gonna be with los gringos or the other ones? And low-key, I chose two. Growing up, I did chose two. Growing up, like, I think in elementary to middle school, I guess feathered more to the black people. And so I was, part of their gang, part of the group, whatever. And then it wasn't until middle school, I had a really big white friend group, and I went over there.
And you see how that's crazy? Because growing up, you did not speak Spanish.
Not at all.
Not a lick.
Actually, okay, technically, I learned English. I had to learn English because I didn't know English. I grew up, my primary language was Spanish. Then I went to school, and my parents are both bilingual. They're both fluent in both. My papa somewhat. Papa don't know how to speak either language. But they stopped speaking to me in Spanish. So I lost it. And And then in Beaufort, I never needed to get it back.
And honestly, I feel like that is like a really common experience between like a lot of just Latinos that were born in the US. Because siento que la mayoría de nosotros nacimos obviamente hablando el español porque nuestros padres nos hablan en español. Pero como vamos en la escuela, inglés. Vamos a nomás a cualquier lugar, inglés. Entonces siento que definitely nos acostumbramos más a hablar en inglés. Y por eso now we feel more comfortable speaking English. And I feel because of that, like, muchos de nosotros no nos sentimos como almost like confident in our way to speak, which I feel like is why a lot of like second generations like don't even want to speak Spanish anymore.
That's another thing. There's so many people now that know how to speak Spanish but don't want to. Like, for some reason, they don't like it. And I know a few. I don't know if you know a few. I feel like the people that I talk about is what you know. But honestly, I feel like in my life, I know more people that know how to speak Spanish that don't want to because that's just not something they like doing. Y no sé por qué. I don't know why.
No, for me personally, I think it's because of like the first thing that we were going to talk about is just like not feeling almost Hispanic enough for the actual Hispanics. Because like we listen to ourselves speaking in Spanish, and obviously no es a lo mismo nivel que los latinos que sí nacieron en su país,
No,
you
pues
know?
sí.
Y por eso, siento que es por eso que no nos sentimos como confidentes nosotros, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, even whenever people, like, I hear all the time, I have a certain person, obviously in my life in particular, whenever they're speaking to their parents, they mess up their Spanish all the time. Like, it's just, you don't know, that's like, they don't know Spanish. It's like their parents understand them, but them themselves are not really there. I guess that would make sense on why they would prefer to speak English and not really speak their Spanish.
Yeah, but I feel like in the end that always leads to kind of like almost like a little crisis, because then that kind of leads us to feel like almost not American enough for the Americans, and then like not Hispanic enough for the Hispanics. So then we're kind of just like
Have you encountered racism?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't
Towards
say
you.
Well, it's more so like just like las cosas chiquitas, where cuando like un gringo me pregunta, oh, ¿de dónde eres? And I'll be like, oh, like I'm from here, because I was born in Hilton Head, South Carolina. I'm from America, or the United States of America, shall I say. But then they'll pop out me with like no, but where are you really from? You know? And that kind of like, it kind of irks you, because like, what do you mean? Like, are you saying that I don't look like an American or what? Like,
you don't.
Oh,
just kidding.
Lol. But no, yeah, I feel like it's like little things like that. Like I've gotten that asked like a good couple amount of times of like no, but where are you really from though? You know? Because it's like, obviously we don't look exactly like your normal, or I don't want to say normal, but like your average like blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl in America.
Y también, just for the clarification, this is my best friend Analia también. Her and I have known each other for, what is this, second?
I think third year.
For 3 years.
Yeah. Feels like way longer though.
Definitely.
Feels like this has been a lifetime.
This girl is like my sister right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Met her during school.
English
colegio.
class.
Sí. Our last names are very similar to one another. So we sat down next to each other because it was like our assigned seats. Y luego we just talked. We talked and poquito. We had other people.
Yo era más como shy.
Very much so.
Yo no hablaba casi mucho.
And I don't like that.
You've helped me a lot, like get me out of my shell.
Yeah.
A lot.
I definitely think so también. Because like for real, whenever I met her, she didn't want to say a peep. Like I would try to conversate over a small thing. It was literally almost as if I was trying to start a relationship. Like because I would talk to her about things and she would just be like, Like she wouldn't even budge. And I wanted to be friends with her so bad because she looked really cool to hang around with.
Girl, bye. You literally would tell me all the time how much you wanted to be my friend before you met me.
I did want to be your friend a lot. I don't know why. It was a vibe. It was a vibe I knew we had. And so, yeah, then we met there. We started talking. We had a trio. We had like a friendship.
But let's not say.
Pero we had a trio. Are technically 4 people. Porque...
Yeah, I don't really count her though.
No, pues. Well, and yeah, it's kind of just like years went by. As years went by, we kind of just deferred into 2.
Yeah.
Y pues ahorita
Las cosas son mejor así.
Sí.
Nos entendemos.
For real. Okay, yeah. But, y luego. Sorry, I just had to clarify that. Okay. What do you think? So, I know you and I have very different ways of thinking. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the reason you and I get along so well, because we battle each other.
But at the same time, we understand each other's viewpoints. Even though we think differently, very differently sometimes, we understand each other. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's the reason why we get along so well.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts and standpoints on traditions? Because I feel like we all know Latinos, we all have certain traditions that Americans don't. More as like, por ejemplo, I know, I guess in my family you could say, we're very much so traditional when it comes to men and women, the roles that both men and women carry. Mm-hmm. And I follow those.
Yeah,
me personally, I do follow them. Like, I know other people, maybe their families también, or like como así, and they want, the women in la cocina and the men outside. I follow that with no problem, because I honestly, not that I so much agree, but I agree. Y tú no.
It's because I feel like with you can be very easily influenced by...
Oh, ¿tú crees?
Like, yeah. Yeah. I feel like you are very easily influenced by your family and their viewpoints. Y yo desde chiquita siempre he tenido like una mente de like just mine. Like I've always had my own mind. Like, y bueno, en mi familia también tenemos eso también de lo de las mujeres en la cocina y los hombres afuera o trabajando, chambeando, lo que sea. But personalmente para mí, I agree to it to a certain extent, you know? Because...
And what's that extent, though? You have a fine line, but what's the line?
I feel like the line is whenever it gets to almost like the machismo side of tradition in Latino communities, you know? Because that's something that is like very, very integrated, I would say. Because it goes back generations and generations. And I feel like that's something that like we have been slowly getting over. But I mean, tampoco like I'm all like, oh, like no, like we should completely like go against like all like I guess gender roles. Like if you really love your husband, go ahead, fix him his plate. Like I see no problem with that.
Lonche at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, hazle su lonche a las 3 de la mañana. Sí. A mí no, like good for you. Si estás enamorada, hazlo. Like, but like I don't know. There's just certain things that I guess I could say that I wouldn't agree with, almost because like I wouldn't necessarily just say that just because you're a woman that you should have a specific like viewpoint on what your life should be, you know, porque siento que like a lot of older women, their one like dream in life, and not that there's anything wrong with that dream, but their only dream in life was to become a mother. And I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's one of my dreams. I would love to become a mother one day.
She says she doesn't want kids.
Girl, I never said that. Okay. But I just think that whenever like women are like just enclosed and they feel as if they have no other way out, I feel like that's kind of when it comes to where I disagree with traditions within the Latino community, you know?
Supuestamente. Porque a mí no.
You
know how I think.
Tú no te importa nada.
Shush. It's like for me, I just, because I think maybe you're right. I am quite, I guess, influenced. And that's how I grew up. So that's how my mindset is. That's how my mindset has been raised to be.
Así creciste.
Yeah. So that goes along with it. Because me, maybe, it sounds bad on camera, but like low key, if my man's over here telling me to make him lunch at 3 in the morning, when I'm married, let's get that.
Yeah, the ring gotta be on.
Ring gotta be on the finger. Todavía no tengo, so ahorita que no.
No lonche for him.
No lonche, you know, like, come agua. But, yeah. So, where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Type shizzle.
But,
oh, yeah. But, I guess whenever I'm married at that point, if the role so happened to be where I was doing the majority of the laundry, doing the majority of the cooking, doing the majority of the cleaning, doing the majority.
Sí, eso no me gusta.
Pero ¿por qué no?
Porque
because that's what makes me feel like a woman.
Okay. What? Just puro quehacer? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, a woman's job, one of a woman's job, is to be able to build and create a home for her family, right? To watch over her kids, make sure that they're okay.
Pues sí.
But in a matrimonio, you're an equipo. You're a team. Not everything should have to be on one person, you know? Like, whenever you're raising your kids, it shouldn't just be the mom raising the kids. The dad's there for a reason. He had part in that too, you know? So that's again, like, where it comes to where I disagree. That the woman should be the only one, like, doing all the quehacer, that doing all of this. Like, son un equipo. That's why y'all married each other, to work with each other, to help each other, you know?
Supuestamente.
Ay, tú con tu supuestamente.
Pues.
I'm the director, yo soy el director de aquí y quiero hacerle una pregunta a ambas, porque es súper interesante. Yo soy millennial, so I'm 38 years old. Y es súper interesante qué rol sienten ustedes que quieren tener como mujeres en adelante. ¿Quieren ser la mamá abnegada en casa who take care of the kids and the husband? You wanna do only a leader? ¿Quieren ser líder y valerse por sí misma sin el concepto? Or you can do both. You know, you can be leader in your own business. You can... ¿Cómo se imaginan ustedes ese rol o cómo están construyendo ustedes hoy ese rol de mujeres con herencia hispana? Because you were born here. ¿Cómo lo construyen? ¿Cómo lo ven? A ver, ¿quién me responde? Me encantaría que respondieran las dos.
Yo personalmente, yo quisiera ser como una mujer que sí me gustaría estar en casa con mis hijos, pero también estar como siendo como un líder. Porque, no sé, como mi mamá. Yo creo que mi mamá es un ejemplo, like, perfect por esto. Because desde cuando ella llegó a los Estados Unidos, ella siempre... like, her whole life era nomás trabajo. That's the only thing she wanted to do. She just wanted to have her own money for herself, to take care of herself, and to put herself first. But that wasn't until she met my dad. But even then, cuando conoció a mi papá, she didn't like what she saw. And so it wasn't until she said, until you stop doing this, this, and this, I will not be with you. She took a stand for herself. Because she knows what she wants. And she just has, like, this, like, type of energy that it's like, it's almost kind of scary. But it's just so, like, almost like dominating in a way. But she's a stay-at-home mom. But in her own way, she kind of, like, instructs us at the house. She's a leader in her own home. And even my dad knows it. Even my dad knows it. He can't hold her back. And that's kind of like the type of mother that I want to be, the type of woman I want to be, you know?
Qué cute.
Thanks. ¿Y tú?
No, pues, es que, honestly, I have, like, I want to be both. But, like, at the same time, like, a part of me wants to be the one making the money, todo como mi mamá. My mother is quite the businesswoman, you know? I go out in public and they're like, oh, like, ¿eres la hija de Verónica? I'm like,
yeah. Un
poquito, sí. But yeah, and, like, a part of me likes that, you know, but
because it's empowering as a woman, no?
Very empowering.
Exactly.
And when it comes to, like, business and the work industry, you know, like, professionalism is when I look up to my mother, because she has it all. She came from, whenever she, you know, came from Mexico here con nada, you know, they didn't have anything, nothing. And now my mother is this woman who creates so much for her family. She provides so much because she's always working.
Yeah.
And because of that reason is why I would honestly love to be a stay-at-home mom también. Because my mother is always working, making this amazing thing for herself and her family, which is amazing, and I appreciate everything. But
it is a little non-stereotypical.
And then I just want to almost be at home for that reason, because I want my children, when I have them, I want my children to have their mom in the house. My mom is so busy because she has a lot. So she's not at home, or she's not home. Como así? But that's why I'd also want to take on that role of being a stay-at-home mother. But I also know I'm going to get tired of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yo siento que to be a stay-at-home mom is to want to be a stay-at-home mom. Porque si lo haces a fuerza, porque tu esposo quiere que seas así, like, it almost feels like you're trapped in a way. Because, like, yeah, you can go places, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing every single day. And that's what my mom talks about, because she's obviously not used to that. She used to work. That used to be her thing, you know? Working for herself, creating her own money, being able to have her own backups, things like that. Pero ya que se queda en la casa todos los días, es lo mismo para ella. Y ella a veces se queja a mí, like I have to do the same things every single day. And sometimes she misses, like, being able to work and all that. But, you know, she wants to be there for her kids, especially since my little sister's so young. She has to be there for her, you know? So I just think that as long as it's something that you want, go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just go for it. Like, I have no issue. Like, stay-at-home moms, as long as you want it, it's your dream. I have no problem in that.
But then it's so hard to switch up.
Can be.
Because it's really one or the other. You can't.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's really one or the other. And then the moment, that's another thing why I'm scared. Because, like, let's say, oh, yeah, I want to be the stay-at-home mom to take care of my, like, mis niños y todo eso. Like, a year or, like, not a year. Maybe, like, a few years go down and I'm like, okay, like, I want to work.
Yeah.
What am I going to do, dip?
Yeah, right.
That's kind of messed up. So it's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
That's why having kids are scary.
Yeah. Don't have kids, guys.
Maybe. A little bit. No, but I think they're a blessing.
Yeah.
Nah.
They can be.
Maybe.
Not Chave. No, I'm just kidding. I love Chave.
Chave's her little sister. Yeah, you grew up in a somewhat large family.
I would say it's pretty large, yeah.
5 people in a house. Is it 5?
6?
6
Actually
people.
6. Yeah, dos varones, dos mujeres. Dos varones, dos mujeres y mis padres.
Oh, sí.
Yeah, they had 2 of each. And
Y sus perritos también.
oh yeah, los perritos. That's like it's a house, full house.
That crusty white dog that every Mexican has. Todos los mexicanos tienen ese perrito. That white crusty.
Peluchudo.
Anyways, pero let's not say. I mean, no. I grew up with 4 people. You know, mi papá, mi mamá, mi hermano. My brother's older than me. My brother and I are best friends. Growing up, we hated each other. Like, there have been a couple times where I've accidentally almost... Let's not say. But, yeah. But then we grew up, and I think, like, our age gap, it was nice. Because he was 4 years older than me. So we became best friends. Like, we are really close to this day. Tell him, like, almost everything. Almost. But that was really nice. But
I think it was kind of the same for me. Growing up with my brothers, tengo 2 hermanos mayores, unos 6 años mayor que yo y el otro 3 y medio. Yeah, el más mayor, Alan, él tiene 24. And Chávez only 8.
yeah.
That's a crazy. Pero es por eso, like, yo siento personalmente por mí que because of the fact that he's so much older than me, that he's almost as if like another role model to me. He's almost as if like it's almost as if he were to be like another guardian for me. Because I know that, like, sea lo que sea, he's always going to be there for me to protect me. And I think that, like, in that sense of a role, in like between like a boy and a girl, a brother and a sister, I feel like that's where, like, I agree with that.
How do you think they're gonna act whenever you introduce a boyfriend?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You have 2 older brothers.
I do have 2 older brothers.
Mexicanos.
Yeah, I've never introduced a boyfriend to them before.
Y por eso you said that you don't want to unless you find the one, ¿verdad?
Yeah, that would be scary.
Maybe.
But I don't know, because I don't know, because my brothers, honestly, they are quite overprotective over me, because that's how my mom raised them to be. Because whenever I was younger, my mom did work, and so my brothers would be the one to take care of me in la casa. They would do everything for me. They would, like, just watch over me all the time. And to this day, they are still very overprotective of me and the things that I do. Yeah, but I feel like because of that, it's brought me closer to them as we grow older, though. Yeah. Type beat.
No boy in particular?
Nah, not at the moment.
No, pues.
I'm leaving all those boy troubles in 2023. What about you?
Let's not say. Let's not say.
Okay.
But, so, I guess another thing. Let's see. Okay, whenever you said our views on, because we have like some notes that we want to talk about. So whenever you say our views on other non-Mexican or Latinos, ¿cómo que qué?
So like, okay, it's just like the way that you view, like, say like the way en cómo te llevas con los hondureños versus the way cómo te llevas con
Hondureños. Qué malo.
I think we come to the conclusion that los hondureños are
Algo.
They're definitely something.
There's something.
Just like, you know, your view on different types of Latinos and how their culture, how they grew up, because it's even though we're all Latinos and we all speak Spanish, we all come from like different Spanish speaking countries, like we all have different experiences because of the fact that our cultures are still different. Even though they're like slightly similar, but they're still very different. The food we eat is different. Los acentos que tenemos son diferentes. Just everything. A lot of things are different.
That accent is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand.
Yeah. Oh, Hondurans, yeah.
Yo creo.
I don't understand Hondurans half the time.
You know, actually, a Honduran, también con ella, she taught me Spanish, like I said. Pero there is this one Honduran that, and I think I appreciate him so heavily. I will talk about him on this podcast. I appreciate him so heavily. Always, always, always. Because he really introduced my Spanish también.
Because bro's from the motherland.
He is from the motherland. He is from Honduras. Y por eso he just came here como like a year ago. Oh, we should have him on this podcast. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, he came here a year ago. He's still learning English. I became really close with him. And while he didn't know English, my Spanish being más o menos, it helped me because we both were teaching each other a language.
Yeah, porque mientras que tú le enseñabas el inglés, él te enseñaba el español.
Y por eso, it was so cool. We couldn't speak the same language, but we got it. Like, we were...
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, como ellos tienen diferentes palabras, porque a veces me salías con palabras que yo no te entendía.
No, sí.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And, like, a veces hasta tu acento se te cambiaba.
Sí.
Because you would just, like, almost adapt to the way that he
Hablar
was
como
speaking.
él. Sí.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, just, like, our different views on different Latino groups, you know? Because I have met a whole bunch. And I personally, I feel like I personally get along better with Colombians.
Oh, sí.
And, yeah, Colombia. I've met so many Colombians that I get along really well, and I love their food. However, Hondurans and, like, all those other...
Hondurans or something. I feel like I honestly get along more with, like, Mexicans, yo creo.
Well, yeah, yo también, obviously. But, like, outside of your own culture.
Oh, outside of our own culture?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, non-Mexican Latinos.
I feel like I want to go straight to even though hondureños are algo, pero...
Todavía te llevas con ellos.
Sí. Pero solamente por él, honestly.
O sea, hondureño, not hondureños.
Hondureño, un hondureño. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's enlightened me on the culture, the way of transportation, like, especially his journey. Oh, my God. Like...
Hearing, like, la manera que... Like, just, like, feeling... or just seeing or just hearing just like the way that he would talk about the way that he got here and just knowing que somos la misma edad. Yo nunca podría hacer eso.
¿De verdad?
Never in a million years would I be able to move from one country, leaving my parents, leaving everything, nomás
toda
para
su
ir,
familia,
yeah.
todo
Y solito
también,
nomás teniendo que 16 años.
Sí.
Yo nunca podría.
17
Nunca podría.
Oh no, 16 creo.
No, you said it a year.
Sí. Yeah.
And that's what's like crazy to me. Like,
and the fact that because teenagers nowadays, or at least us, you know, we take for granted the small things in life, you know, being able to drive, being able to just do things like
the daily activities.
For real. And it's like con él, he couldn't do much, but oh, how that boy had a smile on his face.
They're so just humble.
Very much so.
Just positive. I feel like that's like kind of a difference in between like
y trabajadores for real.
Yeah. The natives, oh yeah.
Sí. All the time, if there was like free time, a trabajar.
Y los de aquí bien huevones.
For real. Y por eso la gente aquí is just like...
Es que es todo acostumbro. Like, we all just have different customs being either... It really does make a difference where you're born.
It really
to be honest.
does.
It really did. Because that's, again, like I said, eso es algo que yo pienso en a lot. How different my life would be if my parents never immigrated
Si
here.
vivimos en México.
Life would be crazy.
That would be very interesting.
We would have never met.
We would have never met.
I never would have found my best friend.
Facts. Facts to that one.
But it's just crazy, you know?
So, that was our podcast.
Yeah, creo que eso va a ser el final de este episodio.
Uh-huh. And we will come back next week.
Y las próximas vamos a tener otras personas.
With another person. Creo que our next podcast person is going to be Dylan Rodriguez.
El primazo.
Mi primo. Pues sí. I hope y'all guys enjoyed our podcast. Hope we didn't yap your ears off too much. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Ciao.
adiós.
Este episodio es presentado por Verónica Navarro Realtor. Take it for granted.